We are back online. I hope the network helps this time around. Yeah, the network has been so terrible, and I hope it helps. We can still see it dragging, but unfortunately, our service providers cannot be contacted now. So it's like we're going to make do with what we have. Is anybody connected there? God bless you. Yes, yes, Leia, thank you. The network is still bad. The network is still bad, but we're going to see what we can do to pass across to this message. Okay? Please, I want you to confirm to me, how is the network now? How is it now? How is the network? We are just still looking at it. It's better. Okay, Leia, you're saying it's better. Though, yeah, a little bit better, truly, but not as expected. But that notwithstanding, let's quickly talk about something tonight before we really go. So it doesn't look like nothing is done. Okay, God bless you. Thank you for your understanding. Bridget, thank you. All of you, thank you guys for coming up. We want to quickly talk about what you have that is like something that is not too pleasant, something you are not proud of, and that you are in a relationship. Should you go ahead to talk to your partner about it, or should you just continue your love affair and you keep moving like that? So that is the topic for this particular live broadcast. Should I tell him about the past I'm not proud of? Should I tell her about that thing I'm not proud of, or can we just move on like that? No cause for alarm. Nobody knows about anything and other stuff. All right, it's very important you listen very carefully. We're going to make it a very brief transmission because of our network, but I'm very sure that you should be able to get something a little bit from the broadcast. So we'll continue from there tomorrow. When you are in love with someone and you have gone so deep in the relationship that you've trusted each other and it's about leading it to marriage, and you have some things in your life that you are occasionally crosses your mind, oh, can I tell him? Can I not tell her? Can I tell her? Can I not tell him? And it crosses your mind just like that. So what do you do? Now, just before the break in transmission, I was saying that there are two things. Whatever you have that is like something that is not too pleasant, you can simply group it into two parts. One, this first part are those ones I personally categorize that you must tell this person. Okay, most especially before you go so deep in the relationship. Before you go so deep, in a relationship, you just have to tell him some part of the information. I'm not saying you should hide something. Listen to this, I've grouped the unpleasant thing into two different categories. Some you just have to go ahead, before you go too deep into the relationship, you have to go ahead to tell this person. And the other part, you have to apply wisdom before you tell him or her. I do preach as a marriage therapist, as a minister of the gospel, and as a counselor. I trust the Bible. I trust the truth in the Bible, and I preach that all the time. That is why most of the time when you see me on any live broadcast, I try to display the Bible for you to know that I'm not speaking from the head knowledge. I'm not a motivational speaker, okay, that just picks a book somewhere and start reading to tell people what to do. I strongly believe in the truth in the Bible. It can't fail no matter what fails in life. I do preach. Part of the belief is that be sincere with the person that is your partner you're about getting married to. Be so sincere that you don't keep lies. Now, there are some things that you have as part of your past, and you are doubting whether you should tell him or not. I'm trying to recap. I said, those things that you know that they are not too, you are not proud of them, but you have the doubt whether you should tell him or tell her or not. I've categorized them into two parts. I say the first part are the things that is compulsory for this your partner to know about it, even before going so deep in the relationship. For example, if you have a child, before you met, you've had this child, you are not going to kill this child because you are going to get married to this person who is seriously in love with you. So you have to tell him or her before you go too deep into the relationship. If he proposes to you and you say yes and you are on with the relationship and the thing is so pleasant and you are so afraid that what if I tell him and he goes away? There are some things you shouldn't be afraid to tell him because there's nothing you can do about them, such as if you have a child. Part of what you will be able to use to assess whether this person is actually in love with you or not is by the time you tell him some things, the way he reacts to it. Remember, we are coming up to, I'm not saying you should go ahead and tell him everything about your life because you need to apply wisdom before you say anything at all. But if you have a child, your partner has to know that you have a child. There is no need of hiding it. You are not trying to say I'm a virgin. No, because on the day, by the time you get married, he's going to know you are not a virgin. Most especially if you are the lady. So if you have a child, there is nothing to hide. The risk of hiding from him or her that you have a child the risk is so high. Number one, he may hear it from other sources and it will be so disastrous because you are going to lose his trust, you are going to lose her trust, and it may be so tough to regain that trust back if he hears from another person or from another source that you have a child. So be bold enough to tell him or her that you have a child. The child is part of your life. Now, another risk, if you don't tell him about the child you have, is that, in other words, you have denied this child. Because you are going to live the rest of your life saying you are not the parent to this child. It means you are going to traumatize this child. You are going to give this child, you are going to put him or her in a perpetual rejection. Because you won't be able to boldly say, this is my child. Because you have gotten a partner who you think has fallen in love with you and you do not want to disrupt the relationship, and now you are denying this child. Okay, so there are two risks. It's either he hears it from somebody else and, the trust is gone. Or you stand a chance of denying this child his place or her place in life or in your heart. Don't try to package it. I know there are 1001 people that are even church people that have gotten married over 20, 30 years that denied they had children. Until date, their spouse does not know they have children or they have a child. That is a lie, a serious lie. As a child of God, as a believer, it means you have killed your conscience. I pray that child will grow up to forgive you. Because on the wedding date of that child, on the wedding day of that child wants to be proud that my parents are intact. Okay, they are here to attend to my wedding. There is a phone call. I'm just going to, despite the bad network, I'm going to go ahead to attend to this phone call. Hello? Good evening, sir. This is Mary Boye, and we are presently on a live broadcast. Are you aware?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm trying to call.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, because I heard the topic and it's really interesting. For me, as a person, I think he or she should just say that he or she has a child. It's better you speak the truth, and the truth you know shall set you free.
Perfect.
From my perspective, from my own point of view, I think for me as a person, it's better you speak the truth.
All right, that's very good.
Because something you don't, hello?
Yes.
Because something you don't say now is going to affect you in the future. So there's no hierarchy of you hiding what has happened, it has happened. The major thing is that you having someone who loves you and who can also take care of the child.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you so much. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Belgium.
Oh, thank you so much. And your name, please?
Samuel.
All right, Samuel, thank you for calling. Samuel has just backed up exactly what we're talking about. Samuel just called from Belgium saying it's better you say the truth because the truth you can't say now is going to affect your future. Thank you so much, Samuel, for calling. God bless you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Bye, sir. Yeah. All right, we just had a caller, Samuel from Belgium. Samuel is trying to buttress the point that even though you have a child, it's better you let your partner know you have a child. The reason, one of the reasons is you don't want to deny this child. You are the parent to this child. Don't say because you are desperate, you need to get married, and you now deny this child directly or indirectly of his place or her place in your heart as a parent. So it's not good enough. So you can go ahead. Now, if this person wants to continue his or her relationship with you, after telling him or her that you have a child, fine. And if it doesn't, please let him or her go. You should pray for somebody who is going to accept you with your child. I know we recently this year, a couple invited me to their home. Okay, they were having an issue that and they invited me. I was there. It's in Lagos. I attended. I honored the invitation. And there is something peculiar about the young man, the husband. The lady already had a child before they came together as a couple, and they already have, both of them already have 2 kids together. But this lady had a child before they came together. Despite the fact that both of them were having issues together, something fantastic that this guy is doing is that you will never know he's not the owner of the child of this lady. He handles the child as his firstborn, and he calls him my baby. I kept asking over and over again. He said yes. And even while they were trying in argument, while I was trying to attend to them, he was still holding on to the fact that this is my baby. It was a perfect thing. So if you must pray to get married, as we all pray that you should be married, even after you've had a child, God should bless you with someone who will accept you with your child. Don't deny your child because you think it's difficult to get a guy as a single parent, to get a lady as a single parent, and now you've gotten one. You don't want to spoil the relationship, therefore you deny the child the parenthood. That is not good enough. Please don't do that. Now, there's some other things. When you want to present it to your partner, you have to apply wisdom. That is the second category. And what are these? For example, if you've had a very terrible past, in quotes now, maybe the relationship was going on well, and you said, I actually want to tell him I've committed abortion before, I've done this before, I had 1001 boyfriend or girlfriend before, and all those things. Most especially if you are the lady, apply wisdom the way you will present it. Let me tell you the way the brain of a guy works. A guy is naturally a very jealous person over something he loves. Now, if this guy has fallen in love with you, believe me, he's going to be a jealous person over you. That is why you see some guys behaving crazily when they see other guys coming around somebody they want to get married to. I don't blame them. It's just like something that is inborn. Okay, it's like a human nature. But for those that are mature, they can manage it well so that it doesn't become excessive to the extent of causing havoc to their relationship. Now, naturally, everybody is jealous over something they love. If this guy loves you so much, he will be jealous over you. Now, he is jealous over you, and you want to tell him about your past. Telling him that you had a 1001 boyfriend, you've committed abortion several times, you've done whatever you will say that will arouse that jealous nature for him to be able to feel disgusted. You have to be very careful the way you tell him. Fine, a guy wants to ask you, I don't know how you manage your relationship. If you manage your relationship in such a way that he's asking you whether you are a virgin, be bold to say, I'm a virgin, I'm not a virgin. There's nothing to hide. You will be so shocked that some people are so, their love for you increases the moment you are so sincere with them. But just manage the way you present the information to them. He asks you, are you a virgin? I am a virgin. Full stop. Full stop. Is he asking you that how many men have you slept with? I don't believe it should go that far. But in case you ask, you must be able to look for a way to shy away from that. Okay, most especially if you are not a virgin. So, because some things you talk about, sincerely, it might actually affect his heart, that he will find it difficult to become coordinated again, and you will begin to live in regret that you shouldn't have, told him. Don't regret because you told him the truth. It's just your presentation that was not okay. I have seen couples that cheated on each other, and because they wanted to be sincere, and the lady comes up to meet the guy that actually cheated on you. And from that day, that marriage never remained the same. In fact, some of these people that had this experience, the marriage scattered immediately because the guy could not cope with it, or the wife could not cope with it. Okay, so you must be able to understand who you are dealing with. Okay, not everybody will be able to manage such information. So you might need to seek for counsel before you go ahead to break such a huge news. Sweetheart, I cheated on you today. It's heavy. Okay, I'm not saying you can't restitute to say it, but please, you need somebody to counsel you before you'll be able to present such things. Or else, the havoc you will cause to your marriage or to your relationship, you may never be able to recover from it for life. God forbid. You need to manage what you tell each other very well, and with the mind of being sincere with each other. I hope you're getting this point clearly. The reason is this: whatever disrupts your love life is part of what we talk about on this platform. And part of those things is ignorance. Your inability to manage information maturely can disrupt your relationship, a very promising relationship. And you will live the rest of your life regretting that I shouldn't have said it. Now, so that for you not to get to the point of regretting that you shouldn't have said it, you can actually manage it to say it in a right way. Okay, that is just the point, the bottom line of this broadcast right now. How you manage. Now, if there are other bad past, for example, if you were into prostitution as a woman and this guy doesn't know about it, you may want to ask me, should I tell him? Now, if there is no conversation presently that wants to make him ask what you were doing in the past, okay, you don't just have to talk about it. I said in your marital relationship, involve mentors. Have mentors, people that are blessed with marital breakthrough, people that are blessed with good marriages. Make them the mentors of your relationship and be able to confide in one of them to say, this was my past. Should I tell him? Because there are peculiar cases. I can't generalize, because the issue you are dealing with will be totally different from the issue the other person is dealing with. So it may be difficult for me to generalize. But I've been able to point out that if it is a child you have, don't deny your child or your children because you're about getting married. The prayer you should pray is for God to bless you with someone that will accept you with your child. In whatever situation you are, if you had a child before you met him, please tell him or her about this child before you go too far into the relationship, in case he doesn't want to accept this child with you. Whosoever want to accept you and doesn't want to accept your child has not loved you deeply. I'm sorry to say. I hope we listening. Okay, I don't care about, somebody is making comment. I don't care about my man's past. All I'm concerned about is his present life with me and his future as well. Very, very important. Thank you so much. That is Imafidon Felicia. Felicia, God bless you. Thank you for saying that. So you have a child, there is no need to hide it. Okay, because the result will be on that child at the end of the day. You have just denied him a lot of rights, or denied the child a lot of rights. So be bold enough to say you have a child and pray for favor. Let this person love you and love your child, accept you and accept the child, and everything will be fine. Remember, there are some information that are so sensitive that you have to apply wisdom before you present it to your partner. Remember, I'm not saying you should hide anything from your partner. Don't hide anything. Don't hide anything, okay? Don't keep secrets, in quote. Most especially those secrets that you know that it is possible for him to know about it outside. The moment what you are supposed to tell him, you don't tell him, and he hears or she hears about it from another source, it's going to affect his or her trust for you, and that will affect the entire relationship. That is why you can't remove God when it comes to marriage and relationships. God created marriage. He founded it. And he created it as is like an integral part of our life. Something that will give us, that will prolong our lives, that will give us good health, that will that will better our lives. Good marriage. God created it. He wants us to replenish the earth. He wants us to have dominion. He wants us to be fruitful. He created marriage. It was at the point that he said it was not good for the man to be alone that he instituted marriage, when he created the woman from the man. Okay, and he brought them together. Marriage came into being. And he said, for this cause shall a man leave his parents and cleave to his wife, and they shall become husband and wife. They shall become one. So it's a great blessing. It's one of the greatest blessings that God has given to mankind. So it is beautiful when you are blessed with a good marriage. But please, you have to manage your marital relationship. Involve God. Don't use your head knowledge. Don't calculate things with your head. You could go ahead to say, oh, yeah, I trust him, I trust her, and you begin to do things with your head knowledge. When you involve God, even when if you were a prostitute, you can be blessed with a wonderful husband. So that is part of your past. You have already given your life to Jesus. Just that you should manage the way you present the information to him. Because he is a human. This is your partner. She is a human. He may not be able to really imagine the way you are looking at it, and it can affect that relationship. Apply wisdom. That is the bottom line of this broadcast tonight. I hope you've been able to gain something from this live broadcast, and I pray God will perfect all that concerns you in the name of Jesus Christ. Let me go ahead to check if anybody has any contribution or question. Anyone that loves me will love my child. That is just it. Somebody who doesn't want to accept you because you have a child, the love is still not full yet. Okay, when love is in action, the Bible says love, it doesn't boast, it doesn't harm, it doesn't think about the past. Love is love. That is why God himself is love. It was for love that Jesus died. Jesus was a pure man. He was without sin. It was our sin he died for. It is love that can do that. So when a man loves you, he loves what you have. When a woman loves you, he falls in love with everything you have. That is why, as a lady, I've said this in one of my videos or my live broadcast before, that as a lady, your partner, this guy is doing a job that you think you are not proud of his job. And because of that, you are misbehaving in the relationship. If you truly love him, you will love him along with everything he has. Whatever job he's doing, once this job doesn't dishonor God, your maker, there is nothing wrong. He's not saying, I'm going to die doing this job. So many of us are still trusting God for a better job. He may be one of those people trusting God for a better job. If he is an Uber driver, of course, and he's paying his bills, what is it about an Uber driver or a taxi driver? Okay, once the job pays the bill, once the job, honors God, come on. If it is love, and the love is sincere, it has nothing to do with the job he's doing. I pray God will give you understanding. So I won't prolong this broadcast more than this because of our bad network. And I hope you will still be able to play back, to be able to get something from this. God bless you, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm very sure that our service provider will be contacting them, and the network will be better tomorrow. I promise you that we might repeat part of this broadcast by tomorrow, and I pray God perfect all that concerns you. Thank you so much for joining. Remember to like my page, and if you are on YouTube, I have a YouTube page. The live broadcast is likewise going on the YouTube also, just like some of you are viewing on the Facebook right now. Please subscribe to my channel, Mary Boye TV. Okay, and you can follow the page also, Mary Boye. And God bless you. Thank you so much, and do have a blessed night rest. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Eyes haven't seen, and ears haven't heard the kind of blessings that's about to fall on me. 'Cause victory is here. Kick the feet out the door. God's gonna do a thing.
I promise you we might need to repeat this broadcast because of network. Please join me tomorrow. Thank you. I can see you all. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.